Staring at the x-rays, my eyebrows nearly flew off my face. My spine curved like a rainbow pipe cleaner. "Oh my God," I said breathlessly. "I don't have a straight bone in my body." Rewinding about 5 months, I was working long hours at McDonald's. Spending up to 5 hours on your feet was exhausting, but I felt something else. My back hurt so bad I doubled over. I asked my mom to look at it, and she noticed that not only was my spine curved, but my right hip and shoulder were elevated. She scheduled a doctor's appointment with Dr. Dale Nicholas Rowe. I find it important to say his full name because he literally looks exactly like Santa Claus. My first x-rays were absolutely shocking. He declared that I had severe scoliosis, or curvature of the spine. He also claimed that it was uncommon for boys to get scoliosis, a mere 1 in 8 when compared to girls, and hardly any require surgery. We discussed our options with Dr. Santa Claus. He recommended spinal fusion. The surgery consists of drilling 1-inch screws through either side of the curved vertebrae and mounting them onto titanium rods, thus forcing the curve into alignment. We insisted that the surgery take place as soon as possible to avoid the curve from getting any worse, and so that I would be prepared for college. So the date was set, February 26th, less than 6 weeks away. To prepare myself, I watched personal vlogs of people who had the surgery. They documented every second, and watching that took a ton of fear away. On Valentine's Day, I had my pre-op labs and final consultation with Dr. Rowe. He explained the risks to my mom and I: paralysis, blindness, broken bones, more surgery, and death. But the doctor said that there was a 90% chance that everything would go smoothly. I mean, I guess I was okay with that. Still worse than the pill commercials though. So I made my preparations with work and school. I also had to do something especially unnerving, discussing what would happen if I did die. My mom cryptically asked what I wanted done, so I decided I wanted my ashes scattered at my 3 favorite places in the world: my childhood home, my grandma's farm, and on Lake Michigan. The weekend before the operation, my grandmother flew up to help take care of me, and the day before, we all made our way to Kalamazoo. Although the hotel beds were comfortable, no one slept. My mind was racing like skimming pages of a book. We awoke at 4 a.m. and got ready for the long day to come. We got to the hospital right on time, 5:15 a.m. I didn't feel tired, hungry, or anything really, just the anxiety. We sat alone in the hushed, dim waiting room for half an hour. Each minute swelled the fear in my gut more and more. My mouth was dry as the bitter winter air. When they finally called us in, I walked shakily into the prep room. I sat down onto the harsh metal gurney that I would either awaken or die on. A nurse brought my stiff blue gown to change into, hooked up my IV, and gave me some anti-anxiety drugs. She told me what to do when I woke up: 3 deep breaths, then a cough. When she finished up, she was replaced by a steady stream of nurses and doctors, all introducing themselves and telling me their roles in the operating room. I couldn't keep up. My stomach began to spasm, so I requested more anti-anxiety drugs. After they injected it into the IV, I blacked out. My mom said that they gently placed my surgical hat on and wheeled me to surgery, and when we got to the point where she couldn't fall anymore, we all said our goodbyes. I don't remember the first day, but Mom said that when I first woke up, I was really happy. I kept waving at empty space and saying, "What is my life?" and "These drugs are great." I fell asleep right after that. When I woke up in my room, my friend Jessica, my mom, and Grandma were all there. But then the pain began. A truck must have struck me. My hips, back, and neck all brutally ached, and I was too rigid to squirm. Tears began, but were short-lived. The nurse gave me morphine, and I was back to sleep. The next morning, I felt well enough to walk. My nurse said it was the fastest he'd ever seen a back surgery patient get up. I did pay for it later, though. Throughout the rest of my hospital stay, visitors came and went. I was on a constant stream of drugs, which mostly controlled the pain. I went home after a short 5 days. When it was time to go, I got dressed and they wheeled me out of the hospital. Although I felt every pothole on that 45-minute ride home, it was nice to spread out onto my own bed and sleep. Every day, the pain slowly diminished, I regained my energy and walked more and more. And now, I feel more aligned and healthy knowing that I am bettered. I feel like I've grown up a lot from this experience. I've been introduced to my own mortality. I've been cut open, torn down, and built anew. I am fused.